Let's get into behind the scenes on this Walmart mural project that I created. First, I'm starting off with the physical wall layout so I can get accuracy on proportions and scaling. I'm using Procreate software to accomplish this layout. My go-to brushes are 6B for sketching in the elements, wet acrylic for color blocking in the hues, and lastly, dry brushing for the texture. Now, I know this is time-lapse, but let me tell you, this project took 4 months to complete. From application process to installation, you have to have patience, to say the least. So here I'm just going in and adding some details to each person. I am loving this rugged look because it appears to be dramatic strokes and obvious indications of expression. Because I am naturally a painter, I prefer my brushes to basically imitate painting. Now, I know there are a lot of tips and tricks when it comes to Procreate, but this is what fits comfortably for me. So I'm probably spending a little bit more time than I need to. Plus, the biggest challenge of this project is the request of a 720 DPI, which means I could only work with 3 layers. Now, if you're familiar with Procreate, you know the more layers, the more dimension, the more fun. But I had to keep flattening, keep redefining, and making strategic strokes so I wouldn't mess it up. So with this process, I've actually had to have this reviewed at least 3 times, and we've changed it 3 times. But that's okay, you know, practice makes perfect. So with the agency, they wanted each person to actually have eyes. I didn't include eyes originally because I wanted to generalize the likeness of each person. But once the eyes were added, I felt like it brought more life to the piece itself. The goal was to capture the essence of the city. So Friendswood is just on the outskirts of Houston, Texas, and they're considered a suburb area with many trails, very family oriented, and creates a lot of outdoor activities. That's why I included the silhouettes and made the picnic area with the friends that are fellowshipping the main focal point. And they wanted me to rid of the water blobs, which that's my personal surrealism trying to kick in. So I went over that with the wet acrylic brush and the dry brush, just adding in the textures. Mind you, I'm only working with 1 layer at this point because the previous layer is like the base and the layer before that is the white background, which is needed. So I thought we were good to go. I sent it over just to find out that they wanted me to eliminate the silhouettes and to also scale down some of the monuments in the background so that it can fit within the frame and not be cut off the ledge. Now, I know you're probably thinking, why go through all that work just for it to be re-altered? Listen, I was thinking the same thing, but really their request is to have 90% of the mock-up done just to give them an idea of the finalized. But we pushed through and we made it happen. And guess what? Look how amazing this came out. The colors are so vivid and saturated. I think scanning might be the new wave. But lastly, I wanted to shout out Now Art for sponsoring this project. Thank you so much for choosing my art to be a part of many locations, highlighting artists and their amazing work. If you are interested, be sure to apply and select your location of interest. Thanks for tuning in and be sure to subscribe for more behind the scenes.